Good day, everyone, and I welcome you to my channel. And this is my journey. My name is Ulushola Akinropo. Okay, what we do on this channel is to tell you my story. That's a marital story from 2007 to 2017. And I want to say a very big thank you to the people that have been calling and asking why I have not, surfaced on this channel. I'm fine, I'm good, and here I am. Thank God. Everything is fine. Okay, the last time I told you about how we obtained the loan of 150,000 naira and came back home very late at night, and I got my gbas probably because he didn't want me to ask how he spent the whole 150,000 naira. And here we're talking about the year 2007, 2008. That was when I obtained that loan that year. Okay, we continued our life like that, and I was just getting my regularity. I was almost getting used to the regular beating, and some of the things that would happen before he started beating. Sometimes he'd come home and we start walking around doing inspection. There was even a particular time he came home and found that everywhere was clean. There was nothing to complain about, and he started checking, using his fingertip to check if there was dust, at every corner of the house. There was even this particular time that I had to check the top of the ceiling fan control, and he said, I started apologizing. I'm sorry, I didn't even remember to check the place and all that. And that was how that I should know that the moment he starts complaining, beating must surface. Okay, fast forward to when I put to bed. We returned home that night, and normally people will start coming in to greet and all that. It was June, it was rainy season, and there was this day that some women came. I think it was the following day that we returned home. Some women came home from our church, to congratulate us and all that. And when they came home, they met the fan because the baby was placed in the living room. And they came home, they met the fan on, and they were like, no, this is not how to go about things. Oh, the weather is cold and all that. You cannot just put on the fan, because the little baby is here, just about a day old and all that. This is not healthy and it's not good enough for her. Okay, one of the women stood up and they put up the fan. Our daddy stood up and on the fan. So those women say, fan, because of this baby, you want her to have kata and all that. So out of annoyance, he left the living room. He didn't show to them, but I said, we are living together now, so I knew what happened. So he left and he went to the room. Right in the room, he was sending me SMS. We were still using the Palasa, then the Tonosobe phone. Android was not so common then. So he was sending me message from the room. Like those smart people in the sitting room, when they leave for their different houses. So when I saw the message, I had to leave the visitors and the baby in the living room, and I went to the room and I started pleading. One man say, get out, no sitting room. Is it possible for me to tell the visitor that, okay, hello, our daddy in the house said they should leave the household? I started pleading. So at that point, I couldn't stay with them, so I kept going to the room, coming back and pleading. I'm so sorry, they will soon go and all that. Eventually, they left daddy, and because visitors would keep coming, and shortly after that time, I think my parents came and all that. But then after that time, one would think that somebody that is just seeing a baby, that probably he will be calm and all that, for where it should surprise you. Each time I get my beating, this poor baby got hers as well, especially whenever she cries when he was beating me. I could remember a very particular day. He came back home late at night, and he was started with the stroke and he was beating and all that. And this baby was crying, so I had to just carry her while he was hoping, Baba Jenny, and things like that, while he was crying. So I carried her and I wanted to breastfeed her. That was how he dragged the baby from the, while I was from the breast, and just threw her at the wall like that. I was so scared. That time she was like probably 3, 4, 5 months. I thought the baby had gone, you understand, because she was crying. I was trying to pet her and all that. While he was beating me, I was still trying to pet. I was begging him, and I was trying to pet the baby at the same time. So that was when I said, okay, let me pet her with the breast too. That was how he dragged the baby while I was breastfeeding. I just threw her on the wall like that. I was scared. I thought something had happened. The baby just kept quiet and stopped crying. So at that point, I was so scared. But when I moved closer, I found that the baby was just there, quiet and eyes opened. And I tell that since that very moment, ordinarily, there is this Yoruba adage that says, Abiyamo kingbe ekun kuma tati ori, like, whenever a mother hears the cry of a child, you know that, that's my child crying. But from that moment, my own baby stopped crying. The only thing she did then was to shed tears. Whenever she needed something else, she would only shed tears. She stopped crying. And Oga did not see anything wrong with that. We continued our life. So Oga must not knock the door twice. What I'm trying to say is that, the ko sound, that ko must not sound again. That means if I should allow that ko to sound again, that means there was a man in the house that was trying to hide the reason I did not reach the door on time for him to enter. And he would not come back home early, like, the regular maybe 7, 8, like 10:30, 11:30, 12. That's when he will return home. So sometimes when normally you'll be tired and you want to sleep. I dare not sleep before he returns. I must not make that mistake. So what I would do, sometimes when I was sleepy, I would just lean on the door. I'll sit on the floor and lean on the door. So whenever somebody touches, not sleeping like that too, but at least I'll just lean and probably doze off and something. So whenever he knocked, go, I will quickly stand up and open the door for him. And that was how we continued our lives. It was this very day that he came. I was in the toilet. I had a knock. I dare not clean up. I left the toilet immediately and reached out for the door to open the door for him. When I was telling someone that I had 3 children from the way, how did you do that? This is how we did it. When next I come back on this channel, I'll tell you how I got pregnant with the second child. Because that time he actually gave me standing instruction. No family planning. And I was so scared that time that whatever instruction he gave, I dare not flaunt it. Like, I was living with that consciousness that, hey, whatever I do, he would always find out one way or the other, just living in fears. So I was, making do with other alternatives and all that. So I'll tell you how I got pregnant with the other girl when I return on this channel. Don't forget that the whole essence of this is to let you know that you can also get out of that problem. Yours might just be visiting counselor. Yours might just be looking for somebody to talk to. But always remember that when you raise any child in a toxic environment, the child will also be toxic, because the child will not understand what love means, and we all know what that means. So my name is Olushola Akinroko. Thank you very much for subscribing to my YouTube channel, and thank you for always watching these and always listening to my story. A lot of things happened. Stay blessed.